Yo, what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and today we're going to be talking about, can bad games be good? Okay, we're going to try to be a little bit more concise with this editorial, with this rant, because I know you guys hate it when I ramble on, apparently. You don't like my beautiful voice. You just want to get out of the video. You just want the information, man. You just want it fed into your earballs, and you're done, dude. You're done. You're done. No dessert? Okay, anyways. Okay. So in the background is going to be H1Z1, King of the Kill. I'm very specifically going to be mentioning King of the Kill, and we're going to be talking about this a little bit. So it might be a little bit ranty or a little bit rambly, especially because I have a kind of a history with this particular game and this company. But overall, I'm going to try to kind of answer, the question in the title, the clickbait title, can bad games be good? I'm going to give you kind of like my experience with a couple of bad games and how actually I kind of had some fun a little bit. And whatever. The video is just whatever. I'm going to say some things and just fucking listen, okay? But what I want to say is, what I want to ask actually is if you would please leave your history, the situations that you've been put in where you've purchased a game or forced to buy a game or forced to play a game, and it's not really a good game, but maybe you had some fun, or maybe the opposite, a good game that was bad. I don't know. Just leave in the comments below your experiences. But let's go ahead and let's just get on with the video. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, background, H1Z1 King of the Kill. This game is a mixed review game. However, I will say that it is mostly positive. Like, I think it's almost actually at positive. It's at 65%. People actually reviewed the game as positive. But if you actually go and read a lot of the positives reviews, there's a lot of negativity in those positive reviews. And if you read the negative reviews, there's a lot of positivity in the negative reviews. I mean, it's a really mixed bag with King of the Kill for a lot of different reasons. And these reasons, specifically for this game, seem to kind of really be like the big reasons why a lot of people will either review a game, negatively or look down on it, or maybe, they'll review it positive, but, they're not exactly very happy about, the overall product. So yeah, H1Z1 King of the Kill, well, basically the game with H1Z1 was going to be a free-to-play zombie game, and then Sony Online Entertainment, at the time, they turned into Daybreak Games, so that's the company now, so just keep that in mind. They were SOE, they got bought out by fucking somebody, they changed around some shits, and they turned into Daybreak Games. They are a San Diego-based studio. I actually applied for them, but whatever. That's my history. And they changed around a lot of shit. And recently, they actually canceled, the new MMO they were working on, the freaking EverQuest Landmark and Next thing. So a lot of shady stuff has been happening with the company as a whole, and they then took H1Z1, which was supposed to be free to play, and they turned it into a buy to play game, and then they split it in two, and they're forcing players to actually purchase both versions if you want the full game. So H1Z1 Just Survive and H1Z1 King of the Kill. Now, in their defense, though, or not really, I don't know. I guess to make people feel good about this is if you purchase the game early access, then you got both versions of the game. But really, I feel like they shouldn't have split it. It should have just been buy to play and then just have, just jump into the game and then you choose the game mode from inside the game. It shouldn't be a double, especially, I don't know, man. It just really sucks because, okay, here's the thing. If you purchase the game early access, then you wanted a certain type of game. You wanted like a DayZ experience, that whole MMO-ish, persistent online survival experience with fucking zombies. But then King of the Kill kind of came and it just became extremely fucking popular. So, that's a thing. And they decided to split the game and make a lot of money from it. Now, King of the Kill is still king of the hill here with the genre. Like, there just isn't another one. I mean, there are other Battle Royale games out there, but not really, King of the Kill is the game that you want to play in this genre, especially if you're a streamer. Now, the problem with that, though, is that it makes people salty. The monetization is, like, a lot of people would consider that not part of the game, but it really is. How much money you spend on a game and the kind of, I guess, like, morals of it, that does actually affect your player base, especially in a consistent, a multiplayer game that's supposed to be updated, and it needs to be constantly updated and have that player base, that community, to actually thrive. Now, that's why I wanted to open this sort of rant, this ramble, with that, because if you go look at similar games in the genre-ish, kind of like Ark, Survival Evolved, got a lot of negative reviews because they released a DLC while still being in early access. That's reviews, okay? People all of a sudden are thumbs downing. They do not like the game because they added content to the game, optional content to the game. But it's the moral of it, it's an early access game, they added DLC, what the fuck, dude? So it kind of, twisted some jimmies, man. Some panties in a wad, I don't know. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people really didn't like it, myself included. But I don't know, they did it and they got away with it. So, you know, King of the Kill as well is kind of getting away with it, but, you know, it's still sitting on mixed reviews. Anyway, so how much a money costs can kind of determine if it is a good or bad game. You know, I mean, for a lot of people, money is an issue. Obviously, we see from these reviews, statistically, it is. Okay, so let's take No Man's Sky for an example, right? If No Man's Sky was a $5 game, especially if it was like a $5 early access game, it would be a fucking cool game, dude. That's definitely an awesome, you know, foundation. It's like, yeah, dude, I mean, the game is, you know, it's kind of shitty, but like for $5, dude, plus early access, we're gonna get future updates. Yeah, dude, I'll bite. Let's go. Let's start this adventure. And a lot of people would probably review the game very favorably, but it didn't happen. It was a full price game, and yeah, we know what happened with No Man's Sky. There's other games that are like that. You know, there's a lot of games out there that they're very indie games, and they like a lot of features, but they're kind of pricing probably higher than they really should be. I'm gonna admit, I'm kind of like a party game like connoisseur. And they're kind of overpriced. A lot of them are really fucking expensive. Really fucking expensive, especially since most of them don't have online play. For most people who don't have tons of friends to constantly, you know, consistently come over and play those games, it's just a little bit expensive, man. It's just a little bit expensive. So price point definitely comes into play, and that's all I want to say. But now that if we can go past that, if we can get past that argument and just talk about the actual gameplay, then I think we can really begin the argument here. Okay, so H1Z1, it's pretty fucking buggy. Okay, now I've actually been playing this game just a little bit. How many hours? I've got 0.9 hours in the last 2 weeks. What? 15 hours on record, 0.9 hours in the last 2 weeks. Oh, I played a couple of games. I've mostly been really like watching it. I've been watching my friends play it. I've just been watching on Twitch, and that's really what I mean, it's really fun to watch on Twitch. But just like so often there's just glitches, and it's just so unpolished, and it's awkward. And I played a couple of games, but I was kind of like, I got fed up actually, because I mean, no, it's fucking cool that they've got all these cosmetics, and the cosmetics seem really interesting. But like, I would really prefer if maybe they had like half the fucking cosmetics and maybe fixed half of the polishing. I know there's different teams allocated and different resources to different parts of games. I understand that, but it's like the moral of it, you know? Okay, I don't know. Whatever. It's just really weird that their focus, at least, you know, with some of the resources, the money that they're paying people for, I don't know if it's really going in the right direction, at least for me as a consumer, as a player. Now, for them as a studio, maybe they're making more money this way. Maybe they make more money by paying people to design cosmetics and things versus paying maybe an extra person to help debug or quality assurance or something like that. But, you know, that's why it's at mixed reviews. It's just a really unpolished game. It's really buggy. It doesn't look that great, and it's not a free-to-play game anymore. I understand it's early access, but dude, this game has been early access forever. And the core problems with the game have existed since H1Z1, you know, first was announced, basically. Like, these problems have just persisted forever. So it's really kind of disgusting. And in many people's eyes, even people who probably review the game positively, overall, this is not a good game, okay? It's more of like, it was the first to kind of just come out and be a full-fledged game that really took advantage of this very niche concept and really popularized the idea. Okay, so King of the Kill, dude, fucking huge, dude. And you know, so like because it's big, it's kind of snowballing on itself. You know, it's a very MMO, or like it's not a proper MMO, but it's a very massively multiplayer game. It needs a giant community. It needs the streaming community. It needs this very big community to really survive, and it's got that. And like other games in the genre tried coming out, it just fucking didn't work. It's not working. And I think other games in the genre aren't really being reviewed very favorably either, which really sucks because it's a really cool genre. But it's like, it's kind of like MMOs. You know, there's only so many that can really be massively multiplayer. H1Z1, it needs a lot of players, and so yeah, there's that. So if this was basically like, if this was a single player game, we wouldn't be talking about it. I think most people would probably be going off to other games. There's some other indie games there were, oh man, dude, there was the Ark version too, which was really cool, but then they fucked up the Ark King of the Kill game. That was actually getting really popular. I was really hyped for that. I had high hopes for that game. But then they changed it all up and they just fuckle-duckled with it. It's stupid, man. Just stupid decisions. And Ark is a whole nother, I mean, we could do a fucking like 10 videos on Ark. And this video isn't even specific on H1Z1. It's just H1Z1 has like every problem that I could imagine for other games. You know, that maybe it's like it's a bad game, but it could be good. This is also going to generally be for multiplayer games. Okay, so here's an argument here. I kind of already, I guess we're segueing into the multiplayer argument here, is that a lot of games, like single player games, they can be bad, but more often than not, you're going to have a very similar experience to other people, unless it's like a sandbox game, and even then, if it's a bad sandbox, you're probably going to have the same experience. But if it's a multiplayer game, there is potential to have really dynamic, very interesting experiences. Maybe like if you're playing with your friends. You know, you ever watch a B movie with your friends? I mean, it's kind of like that, except like, you know, multiplied, because you're literally playing with them. You're literally interacting with them. So, you know, H1Z1, it's pretty fucking multiplayer, and it's pretty popular. So we took this, what was a bad game, and now it's actually really kind of fucking fun. It's really awesome to watch, even if it is unpolished and ugly and just very bland in a lot of, you know, instances. Nah, dude, it's fucking cool, dude. I actually do fully recommend this game, even though I'm going to kind of consider it a bad game. Okay, so anyways, I do want to give you guys probably the most extreme example I can, and it's a game very similar to H1Z1 actually. I don't have footage of it because I refuse to play it, or its newest incarnations, but the game was called The War Z, and it was the first official like zombie MMO-ish game. You know, it basically like it saw DayZ, and they're like, "Fuck yeah, let's go make a DayZ game," and they kind of were rushing production. And it was really shitty. It was a really shitty copy. H1Z1 is, if H1Z1 is like a mixed review game, you know, it's not a great game. That, you know, they're definitely obviously trying to emulate DayZ and then kind of ride off of that success, which it totally is with King of the Kill at least. War Z was completely just like a tear down. It was a tear down, and it was definitely a lot worse. It was a lot worse. Honestly, H1Z1 was kind of comparable when it launched too. Let's admit it, guys. But War Z was definitely something. Something pretty bad. Also, it was kind of a pyramid scheme. Like, seriously, there was a literal pyramid scheme attached to the game. If you actually got references and stuff like that. Referrals, sorry. Anyway, so I'm bringing up this game because probably one of the most impactful gaming moments in my life actually came from when I was playing The War Z. I had my first, like, real life flight or fight experience. You know, I've never played this genre of game before, and most people haven't either, because DayZ was still a mod in Arma then. So most people never really had this experience, you know, actually scavenging around, and then the whole survival thing with the zombies, even if it was super shitty, and you know, the hit registration on guns was wonky, and there was hackers everywhere, and the netcode was garbage, and the game looked like garbage and played like garbage. Doesn't matter when you add in the multiplayer aspect. Like, so in my first 10 minutes, you know, I made a video, I shit on the game, but then after that, I continued to play, you know, after my first impressions, continued to play just a little bit, and I had an experience where I was running into a guy, and this was my first time where I was like, I survived for longer than a day or whatever, and I was feeling like I was in the mindset of survival. And I ended up being chased by somebody with fucking like a assault rifle and a pistol and a shotgun, and he had a fucking ton of shit, dude. Apparently he sucked though, because he missed me all over the place. But he was chasing me, dude. He was chasing me down, and there was this moment where I had to make the decision to either just run completely away through the field. I mean, he could have gunned me down, but it was at night. Or I could potentially run through, you know, like where a bunch of cars were. And uniquely to War Z, you could actually look inside cars and pick up items. H1Z1 didn't have that at the time, or even when it first launched. So it was really fucking cool that you had to actually peer over into the cars and see the guns. Anyways, I saw there was a police car in the distance. I decided to run toward the police car, and luckily enough, there was a shotgun with shells. I was able to pick it up. The guy came around the car, and I shot him and killed him. And that was my first player kill, and that was my first like defense kill. It was like my first experience really in the genre, in the game. And even though it was probably the worst example, I mean, looking back now, it was the worst example. Yeah, even if it was the worst, most garbage game in the whole world, that still gave me a memorable experience that I will never ever forget. And so, yeah, can bad games be good? It depends. Depends on how much money you spend, how much time you spend, obviously. But either way, even in bad games, you can take away some good memories. So, you know, it depends on the person completely. Lots of biases and everything. No, wait, I should actually say it depends on the persons. It depends on the people who you play with, what kind of game it is, the interaction overall. There's a whole lot to it. Obviously, some kid on YouTube ain't gonna be able to define it completely. So I'm gonna need your help, guys, in the comments below. Give me some history. Give me some stories, guys. I would absolutely love it. So yeah, tell me some bad games that are actually good games. for certain people, maybe, you know, niches and stuff like that. Let me know, guys. And also, I just want to say, I recently did review a bad game. Like, literally, it was mostly negative reviews. It's called Savage, I believe. Fuck. Anyways, I actually had a lot of fun with it. I also thought Angel Dust wasn't so bad. So, you know, I think there are some games that I'm personally biased towards. There's some games that you're going to be personally biased towards. But as long as we can kind of share our thoughts and opinions and comments and in videos, I think we're all going to have a really good time in the age of the internet. It's a fucking awesome time to be alive. Awesome time to be alive. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Also, even though H1Z1 and I kind of, you know, shit on it a little bit, it is a pretty fun game. But yeah, let me know what games are bad, but are kind of fun at the same time. Maybe even because they're bad. And I hope you guys really do have fun with whatever games you're playing. My name is Skylent, and I'll see you in the next one.